Toronto Mayor Rob Ford spent another week in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. First, there was an outburst at the mayor's debate, and his past surfaced again when it was announced he may have to testify in the trial of his former driver. Proving he's never one to blend in with the crowd, Ford stood out among supporters and critics at Toronto's Caribbean Carnival today. But as Angie Seth reports, most agree he has a lot to do before this fall's election.
The Ford brothers certainly know how to make an entrance. Rob and Doug Ford can always be heard.
He's coming with me or we're not going.
The most recent run-in was during the mayoral debate on July 28th. Doug Ford was challenging organizers on how many Ford supporters they could bring into the hall.
You were informed of this and you agreed to it.
In the end, the Fords got their way. Was all that chaos justified or a clever Ford tactic?
He's the greatest and people are out there to get him. So that's the message we hear from Mayor Ford.
But are Torontonians getting tired of hearing about Rob Ford's woes? This was Canada Day.
He has questions to answer to the people of Toronto.
And today the sentiment is not as harsh, but along the same lines. The Ford production is just too repetitive.
Same old Ford, right? Like, nothing new there.
If the city doesn't get rid of that mayor, we'll be the laughing stock of the world.
But others have moved behind him, giving him strong support wherever he goes. And Ford certainly made his mark on the international scene.
Why are you here? What good could come of this? Have you ever seen this show?
Not exactly a shining moment for Torontonians.
If Mayor Ford gets back in, I don't know. I think I might move.
And speaking of moves, the latest move or controversy to hit the Fords involves Toronto Police Chief Bill Blair. Blair is threatening to sue Doug Ford over his suggestion the police chief informed the Toronto Star about a potential subpoena to Rob Ford. That subpoena involves the mayor being a potential witness at the extortion trial of Alexander Sandro-Lisi. Blair denies Ford's allegation. According to the most recent polls, Ford, Olivia Chow and John Tory are in a three-way tie for mayor.
The focus of the race increasingly, I think, is going to be among the challengers of Mayor Ford wanting to assert themselves as the best choice for Toronto.
And there will be more opportunities for voters to make that assessment, 40 more.
The next debate takes place right after Labor Day, and political pundits say after that, those debates will play a much more significant role. Voters will be deciding on which candidate they really want to put their support behind, and candidates will be much more aggressive with their messages, trying to divert voters away from the Ford production and getting those voters to choose one of them as the next mayor of Toronto.